hit the gas, buy the ticket, do the thing. You can always change your mind. That's the cool thing about being an adult. You can just do whatever you want.
Our drink of choice today.
Yeah, fridge cigarette. Cheers.
One thing I noticed about the photo that I really liked was your hand holding on.
For dear life, Eric. I was holding on for dear life. Connections and real deep relationships and connections are built in the micro moments. The random call on a Sunday to go swimming, or the, hey, I need help, I have to work tonight. And those are really hard to have, internationally. And so that is something that I am forever trying to untangle and learn new ways to cultivate and harvest really deep connections when you can't be in person.
Sam, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Before we get into the photos,
Okay.
because I have chosen your 5 photos, and I'm very, very excited to get more.
How many did I take? How many did we take? What was on the film?
27 was the total.
Oh my God.
So we've narrowed it down now to these final 5.
Okay.
And I just wanted your perspective on what it was like carrying around a disposable camera with you.
Oh, I loved it. It made me think of prom. So when I was in high school, my senior prom, we would always take disposable camera. Wow, I'm really aging myself, right? It's my last year in my 30s. I got to go out with a bang with this conversation. So when I was in high school, it was like very typical of us to buy a bunch of disposable cameras and like weddings from that time period, the early 2000s, late 90s. We would just like put cameras everywhere. And then people would just take pictures, and then we would develop them kind of weeks later, months later. This is like, they didn't have the 1-hour photo yet. And so it was a lot in delayed gratification. It was such an interesting process you can't delete it, right? You can't look at yourself or the thing and kind of pick it apart and then say, oh, nope, and then you delete it forever, right? When you delete something off of your phone, it's gone forever. You never get to see the quote unquote bad angle or bad picture that you took. And so this was so interesting, especially because I had my daughter with me, and she actually took some of the photos. I'll be so eager to see if there's some of the ones you chose.
We have photo 1.
Oh, okay. So my youngest nephew, he took this picture outside of my sister's house. So this is his first picture ever taken with a disposable camera in his life. And his thumb is over her face, which she would love because she does not love pictures.
Yes, I found that very poetic of having the thumb right over the face.
Yeah.
And I had a hunch that it was you in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I know right now you're also spending a lot of time in Colombia.
Yes.
Can you give me a quick, if you can put it into words, what it feels like to say goodbye or I'll see you later, especially to the people that you love most?
Yeah. So it's this picture, and I guess this is the beauty of this whole project, right? Is that this brings me back exactly to the few days before I left. And at the end of the summer, it was towards the end of August is when I left, mid-August, sorry. I had packed up my entire house that I had built an entire life in for a little over 10 years here in Manchester. And I was staying in my sister's house right before I left. And I had reconciled a lot of grief with like saying goodbye to kind of a house that raised me in a lot of ways, and saw so many different versions of who I was, and kind of built who I am right now in many ways, right? It's the house I became an author in. It's the house I became a mother in. It's like that house I love that house. And then I'm staying with my sister, and I think to myself, I'm not just leaving a house, I'm leaving an entire community of people. And so saying goodbye to them, it wasn't say goodbye. It was, I'll see you in a few months, right? Because I did come back for my sister's wedding, which you were also at. And so saying goodbye that's not in my vocabulary anymore. It's, hey, I'll see you at X time. I'll see you later, right? And saying goodbye to the house was hard, but giving my little, because I was saying goodbye to the house. That was a house that I'm not going to live in again, right? But these humans, these very special humans, my family, my nephew, my sisters, right? All the people in the communities that I have here in Manchester, it's never a goodbye. It's I'll see you in a few months, but giving my nephews one last squeeze before seeing them again months later was really difficult. It was more difficult than saying goodbye to a house. That is for sure. Or see you later, to a house, because we would see each other all the time, right? And you think about, your life, where your feet are is important. Your surroundings are really important, but who you're surrounded by is equally as important, right? And you think, oh, well, we have all these wonderful things like FaceTime and stuff like that, but, connections and real deep relationships and connections are built in the micro moments, right? The in-between moments that are really boring, right? The random call on a Sunday to go swimming, or, right, hey, I need help, I have to work tonight. And then you come over and you do all sorts of coloring activities with your nephews. The micro moments are where the relationships are built, and those are really hard to have, internationally. And so that is something that I am, I think, forever trying to untangle and learn new ways to cultivate and harvest really deep connections when you can't be in person.
Photo number 2, my friend.
Oh, these are some of the flowers. Yeah, so right here, this one right here, that's our house in Colombia right there with the little green plants. During this time in Colombia, oh, it's so beautiful. This was taken in American fall, right? So the transition from summer to fall in the East Coast. So at that same time, I was very much longing. Fall is my favorite season in the Northeast, always has been. And I was very much longing for that almost like fall transition, right? It's like everything is kind of like dying. We're in this hibernation, and right. And, Colombia is it's so freaking beautiful. Everything is beautiful about it. And I'm looking around, I was like, but it's not fall. There's no cozy, there's no, right? The rituals are different. And then I'm driving and I'm like, oh my God, look at these trees. They're all blooming with these pinkish purple flowers, literally everywhere across Ibagué, the city that we live in. And Fadrik's like, yeah, that's what, my husband, he's like, yeah, that's what happens this time of year is all of the trees bloom in these really vibrant, beautiful, delicate pink and purple flowers all over the city. And I was like, really? That's so interesting. And then I was like, and then what happens? They just kind of go away? He goes, no, they all fall into the street, and it almost looks like nature's confetti in the street is what it looks like. And I kept forgetting the camera whenever we would go into the center city so I could get a picture of the trees and then the juxtaposition of the street as well. But I was like, you know what? They keep falling on our car and leaving all these marks on our car, which were hella frustrating because then you have to clean your car constantly. And so I was like, you know what? This is my new fall. This is my new fall. This is the new transition. Sorry. And I was like, how serendipitous is this that right when I'm missing this transitional period in where I used to live, I now am gifted this, right? And so it was very much a serendipitous, beautiful moment. And it also just, how much of a lover of flowers I am. It's all over my book cover. It's the extended metaphor of my life is flowers. And so it was just such a perfect vision. And so that's what this is. This is right outside of our new home in Colombia. And that was from the top of our car. And it's those beautiful pink flowers when they started to fall. So yeah, it was very, it was like Colombia kind of welcoming me with a warm, flowery hug, saying, yeah, you don't have your fall anymore, but you can have this. So, yeah. Oh, I'm so happy you chose that one. I was I remember taking that one. It's because I was just telling you about the flowers and how you linger. And I was like, it was so beautiful. And if you ever get the chance to Google it or anything like that, the city looks incredible with these even people who film it from above with their drones. It's just you see kind of the city, but it's in this bed of flowers is what it looks like. Almost looks like a city is in a garden from above. It's so beautiful.
Photo number 3, my friend.
Oh, look at her.
Any parent of a 5-year-old, it's sometimes tough to get them to stand still, especially when they admire someone like Sonic, who's always moving around.
Yes.
So can you go a little bit deeper into finding those really quaint standing still moments in a hustle and bustle type of walking around?
Well, I'm a seasoned mom taking pictures, Eric, so that is your answer. So honestly, I don't ever have her kind of like pose, and I often am very weary of telling her to smile, right? I want to capture her like in her element. I want to capture her, right? I don't want to capture an idea of her, right? I don't want her to be still and always like straightforward and everything. That's what you have some like, sometimes you do professional shoots for things like that, but I love a good candid. So typically when I have my phone, I take a video and then I'll do a screen grab of it, right? But with a disposable camera, you can't do that, and that's the whole art of it. But no, we were just walking. And that's usually like what it is. And I just say, hey, I'm going to take a picture, click. And like, I don't even give a countdown because what I find is that when you say, hey, I'm going to take a picture, she'll go, what? And that's when you have the still moment. And then it's like, boom, got it. Okay, keep it moving. So that is that's how I got her in this. But I also think that maybe, a little bit of luck of the universe was on my side too. And it said, hey, we want you to have a photo like this of your daughter, that fully captures like who she is, not looking directly at the camera, the flyest little outfit that's like completely her. And yeah, like touching flowers that I probably told her not to touch.
Photo number 4.
Oh, this is the view of from the gondola that brings you through the like almost the pass between the mountains.
One thing I noticed about the photo that I really liked was your hand holding on.
For dear life, Eric. I was holding on for dear life.
One hand with a camera, the other hand grasping the side of the
grasping
gondola.
the side.
Can you talk about, while you're in these moments of vastness and these overwhelming feelings coming in, and you have that one hand holding on to something solid and then your other hand is documenting the entire thing.
Yeah.
How do you operate in that type of environment?
I think mother has made me operate in that way in those types of environments. But so one thing I would love to point out is that I love that my rings are in the picture. My rings are very special to me, every single one of them. I buy them with a lot of purpose, but the one that you can see off to the left, that's on my ring finger, not the one with the kind of amber circle. I'm actually wearing it on the opposite hand now. It's this one. So these are my mom's rings. My mom passed away years ago, but I'm the only one that wears kind of like loud rings in my family. And I just love that the juxtaposition of my rings in this picture. I will say that. And surprise, surprise, I have on red nail polish. Very me. Yeah, I think that I'm trying to ground myself in this picture, to be honest. It's like this knocks the wind out of you, takes the breath out of your lungs, and allows you to breathe. But I think a part of me is always holding on, right? It's always trying to make sure that I'm grounded, safe, and I'm bring myself almost back to the reality of everything. And I think that's a lot of how I try to like live, I guess, is like between those two mediums of like, this is so almost surreal. Like this can't be real what I'm looking at, but it's like, no, I'm here now. It is real. And I get to be here and I'm grounded. Right. Yeah. I also was probably trying not to drop the camera, because that's not a window, as you can tell, because my hand is curled. So I immediately, after taking it, I was like, I have to put this very deep in my bag so that I do not drop this camera. Yeah. It's incredible, because I also think of like, not even just that this vastness around us, these mountains and this like beautiful scenery, this like earth that we are just gifted, right? We're just literal visitors here. I also think about like the history of like that has happened in these places, right? And I thought about people moving in these mountains and, Colombian history, and what has taken place here is so sacred and rich in heritage and rich in development and everything, that I was also taking a moment, as I did when I got to the other side on the farm, to like look around and be like, wow, like I get to do this. Like I get to be here. And not only that, I get to be here to witness my husband revisit all of this, right? And I get to bring my daughter here, right? I get to do this. I was so just like in awe of it all. And not only do I get to do this, like she gets to be connected to this, right? And not forget about it and not have, the world erase it for her, right? Because this is part of her ancestry, is who she is. It's like where a part of her people kind of come from and the lands that they navigated. And so yeah, it's vast, but I'm holding on because there's a realness. People lived here. People, they lived whole lives here. There's whole stories here that people are probably still telling to each other in small circles, right? And like in my neighborhood or down the street and what have you. And I get to be a witness to it. I feel like it's a real gift.
You're already on photo 5, my friend.
Photo 5. Oh gosh, I gotta take a sip though, because this is the grand finale. Oh, this is from the plane. Mm-hmm.
What would you tell someone who maybe feels that pull to go somewhere, to start anew, to travel? What got you into the point where you said, let's do it?
I would tell someone, hit the gas, buy the ticket, do the thing, because you can always change your mind. That's all. That's what I said. I was like, oh, if this doesn't work out, we can always change our mind. I trust myself to know when that time is coming, if it's coming, right? And I stay in conversation, Fadric, I stay in conversations with our daughter about how she's feeling, about everything. And if ever she's like, you know what, this is not working out, or we sense it, we can always change our mind. You can always change your mind. That's the cool thing about being an adult. You can just do whatever you want. Right? But yeah, I think that's what kind of carried me through that. And don't get me wrong, it was a grief-riddled transition, right? You're giving birth to something new. And despite what some people might think, birth is not this like peaceful, serene, like glowy, like beautiful miracle. It is a beautiful miracle, but it's traumatic, and it is so painful, and it is deeply jarring. And that's what this was for a lot of the journey there for me. New language, new culture. It illuminated so many things in me that I was like, wow, that's like kind of an unsavory habit that I have, like that's not I gotta work on that, and it brought out so much of how I mother. I mother so differently as a result of leaving. And it was the hardest, stretchiest, easiest, beautiful, all the things experience. And so if somebody is ever thinking, I want to take the plunge, I want to live somewhere else for a while. Hell yeah, sister. Hell yeah, brother. Do it. Hit the gas is what I would say, because you can always change your mind. And when you get in those homesick, grief-riddled moments where you're like, this is not working, I always gave myself room to breathe in between. I'm like, am I having this because I'm homesick? And I'm like, right? Or is this feeling real? Or is my brain just like playing a little trick on me right now? You have to give it time, and you have to let your emotions breathe while you're going through the hard part of like that kind of adjustment where you move into a completely different culture. And that's what kept me grounded, right? I would also ask, are you doing it with a family? Are you going to do it solo? Like those factors matter too, because like my little family unit, we are so solid that a move and all of the hardships that come with it could never crumble us. Like I was so sure of that when we moved. And that's why I said yes. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Because I was so sure that like, the bones of our house, the house that is us three, our little trio, Fadric calls us uno, dos, tres leches. Our foundation and the bones of that house is like rock solid. So, that also helped to like carry us and usher us through and hold me through the grief. It's like, wow, look what we've built and look what we're building together. Like this, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. Good. Okay. I have a complicated relationship with this plant. It does not look like that anymore. But this was one of the first plants that we bought, and it's on our patio. And I bought it because before I left, the reason why I chose this plant specifically, before I left, this was like years ago when I think there was a few women at the gym. I want to say it was Katie and Bree, they got together because I was going through a really tough time in life. And they bought me this exact plant for my house, and it was hanging. And when I left, I had to leave that plant behind. And so as a little nod to the women in my life who always show up for me and care for me, I bought the same plant. And I clearly don't know how to care for it because it lost a lot of petals, but it's hanging on, It's a good metaphor for me during that time, just hanging on. Oh, so these are stairs. This is a sculpture that Zuri made in her art show. So her school put together this it was such an incredible art show. They did a bunch of different mediums of art. So there was portrait, sculpture, and then this is made out of a bunch of newspaper and kind of paper mache. And then they paint these lines on them. And then the teachers tied the sticks to them. And when we showed up to the art show, it's all of these structures in different positions, staked in the ground at the school. It was so cool. It was like these art manifestations of how the kids see themselves in almost like a sculpture form. And I was like, yeah, this would be Zuri, borderline trying to do a cartwheel, probably just not listening, but... Oh, yeah, this is our house. So this, these two right here, that's our house. So cool. Love it. And the cool thing about the streets is you see this checkered right here, all these checkered things. Each sidewalk in front of each house is very different. So it's the city is this almost these sidewalks are a mosaic. I always think if you were above but focused just on the sidewalks and you erased everything else, you would see this cool little almost mosaic pattern of all these different things that these people who built these houses chose. And I always think, why did you choose that? Because they're all different. And that's kind of the eclectic, very unique nature of living there is you're surrounded by such diverse aesthetic. It's really cool. This is at Shar House. This was the first picture I took on the camera. And we thought, oh my God, has she been on yet? Or is she? So we looked at each other and we're like, what do we do? What's the first picture? And I was like, I remember us talking and she was like, we should just take a picture of each other taking a picture. And I was like, yeah, sure. A little Inception action. So funny. Oh, Shar House. I miss Shar House's buns. Oh, this is a nephew picture for sure. Cause you can tell it's the same thumb just creeping on in. Love a good, it's so funny though to see what kids are obsessed with. You know what I mean? What they find important. If you want to know, Zuri has a digital camera. If you want to know what is important to your child, give them a camera. You want to know what's important to Zuri? Annie, my dog, me, Fadric, our house, and her toys. And sometimes pictures of the TV when she's watching something that she really loves. Oh my goodness. So clearly my nephew thinks the clouds are important, and I would agree. Oh, this is a neighbor's house, another nephew picture. We should give that thumb a name because it's in every picture now. Oh, wait, where's this? Yeah, it says around the way. You know what's so interesting about this house, though, down the street from my sister's, is that I remember so fondly this house. I didn't take this picture. My nephew did. We would go trick-or-treating every year in my sister's neighborhood, right? And I just remember this house so fondly being so sweet to the kids. Ugh. Sweet hats. That's my sister Ashley through the mailbox. That's some good perspective right there. I think we got a photographer on our hands. And there he is. Aw. Wow, a disposable camera took this picture. We got to tell Liz to fertilize her flowers. Oh my goodness. How wonderful are these? Thank you so much, Eric, for just even thinking of this. I remember last year, you're like, I want you to be a part of something. I'm going to tell you what it is, but like, just give me some time. And I was like, okay. So mysterious of you. And when you gave me the letter, because you did it in a physical letter, which I thought was such an homage to the physicality of like what was going to happen, right? The camera is a physical thing. And I was like, this is probably one of the coolest ideas that like I can't wait to see it come to fruition. And now I get to be a part of it coming to fruition. I feel so grateful. Thank you.